And welcome back. Today we're going to do something just a bit different. Just a bit different here. I got a guest here with me today that was a policeman for a long time. And I want to talk to him about some of the ways some of the cops are doing today versus what it was when he was driving. So what I want to do is I want to welcome Tom Bloodworth.
Thank you.
And Tom, when you were policing, when you stopped cars, did you pull out a gun the first thing you did?
Lord, no, that's the last thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was always, how you doing? This is why I stopped you. You didn't get up there and just get indignant, angry with people.
No, when you first stop anyone, no matter what you stop them for, Ron, you treat them with respect. They are a person. They're a good person until you find out different,
Yeah.
Treat the man or lady that you stop or child like you would want to be treated. Then you have less problems.
And when they got ignorant with you, did you step up your game to
You have to stay a step ahead of them.
show them that you still control the scene?
Yes. If they want to be wild, you have to be a little bit wilder than
Did you
that.
pull them out of the car roughly and slam them to the ground and beat on them?
Most time, no. But now that has happened because they pull a knife, gun, whatever, you got to protect yourself.
Yeah.
You can't, on a traffic stop or house call, whatever, you can't let them control you. You have to control the situation. So whatever it takes is what you have to do.
That's good because what they do now is if somebody's driving by and they go like this to the police, so the guy turns around, stops, and pulls them out of the car, beats the hell out of them because for an indignant gesture.
I've had that happen to me.
Yeah, it's called freedom of speech.
I throw my hand up and tell them hello, and if that's what they want, that's up to them.
Well, they used to tell us we're number one all the time anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But the first time we were told we were number one.
Right, yeah.
A lot of the times, especially working at night, the stops are a little bit more dangerous at night.
A lot more dangerous, yeah.
Because one, the cover of darkness. Two, you're doing everything with a flashlight, with a smaller beam.
Right.
So you just got to stay on top of your game. Did you ever walk up to a car with your hand on your gun and just get ready to pull it to shoot somebody because it's dark outside?
Lord, no. That gun is just dead weight on your side until you have to have it. It's not there to intimidate people. It's not there for a show off. It is a tool and only a tool in case you need it. Just like carpenter needs a hammer.
Yeah.
But he don't always use it, Same way with the mechanic. They use wrenches. They need wrenches for their job, but they don't always use them. Weapons the same way.
Yeah.
A weapon is the very last resort.
Tasers, non-lethal shotguns, stuff like that should be ventured first.
Well, see, if you pull a non-lethal shotgun on me, I don't know if it's lethal or not.
Yeah, that's true.
Until after I shoot you.
No, I mean, when the cops use non-lethal weapons on people.
Well, I've never used one except a taser now.
Yeah.
But before I ever used a taser on either one, I was tased twice.
Yeah.
Because people say, why do you want to be tased? Well, if I tase someone and it happened, I have to go to court for any reason, first thing the attorney's going to ask me, have you ever been tased? Yes, I have. So, that stops a lot of his argument right there.
Yeah, they're no fun.
A taser is only used to apprehend someone that is wild and unruly. It don't want to, it's not a way of punishing people, getting back at people. Taser is the last step before the weapon.
So tasing somebody 15 or 20 times is a little excessive, or do you think that's about the right amount?
That's over excessive.
Yeah, that's.
Ron, most of the time, if I tase someone, now there is exceptions to it, but if I tase someone, they're going to the ground.
Yeah.
That is the time to handcuff. The fight's almost always over then, if you're one-on-one. So after you tase them and they get on the ground, you cuff them, there's no reason for any more violence. I mean, the violence is over. Or should be.
The threat should be over right there.
Right, yeah.
There's been quite a few, and they call it the polyester pile.
Yeah.
If you ever watch them videos where you get 15 guys, and they pile on top, they got one hand out there, and the guy's still steady tasing him, and the rest of them are sitting on top,
Yeah.
his hand is pinned underneath his belly. How are you supposed to put your hand behind your back and be tased at the same time?
It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
But that, to me, is lack of training.
Yeah.
And self-ego gets into that, you know, it's just, I can't answer for any of the rest of the cops, but I always want to treat people like I want to be treated, or like I'd want them to treat my son or my wife if I had one or whatever, you know.
Right.
The badge is not a license to do anyone wrong. A badge is to show that you have authority to put them in jail if need be, or direct traffic, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
It's not to mistreat anyone. It's just
uphold the laws of the land.
Exactly.
And the rights of the citizens.
Right, yeah. But there's this group, now I want your opinion of it. There's this group, defund the police.
Right.
Well, let's say they get all police officers off duty, we have no cops. What's going to happen to the United States then?
Then you call it lawless.
Yeah.
You're looking at the Wild Wild West again.
You're exactly right.
Everybody will have a gun, everybody be shooting everybody.
Yeah.
Robbing, stealing.
Exactly.
It'll go to hell in a handbasket. Yeah. And it's pretty much on the way there with Biden anyway, but I'm just saying.
I agree with you there.
They don't need to defund the police. What they need to do is train.
Exactly.
If they train the police, number one, they swore a duty to uphold the Constitution, number one.
Mm-hmm.
All of it.
That's it.
Not just one or two men, all of it.
All of it, yes, sir.
And then drop the egos. Get rid of all the damn egos. You know, because like you said, because you put that damn badge on,
exactly,
doesn't give you the power of God.
No, sir.
If they get the training and get some of these hotheads under control, they won't need to defund the police.
We need police. We have to have the police.
Yeah, you have to have.
That's the only thing between the outlaw and the law-abiding citizen.
Yeah.
So if you don't have police, you're messed up all the way.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, to be a police officer, before training, I feel like you have to have the heart and the guts to do the job.
Yes.
If you're scared, don't put that badge on, because you're going to mess up. Anytime you go out and you're scared, you don't need to be there, Ron. It's just, and that's my opinion.
Yes.
Now, I have been nervous in a lot of places. I'll admit that. Scared? No, because I had to keep my wits about me and stay calm. But a lot of times I'd be on maybe a call or whatever, and afterwards I'd think, in fact, I asked my son the other day, where I policed most of the time, I didn't have the backup.
Yeah.
Backup might be 30 minutes away. So I had to depend on me to handle the situation. And there has been times when I would make an arrest or whatever, get in the car and I think, how in the world did I do that?
Yeah.
You know, it's just, but you've got to have it here and you got to have it here. You've got to have your training. Your heart's got to be into it, and you have to want to do and have to do what's right first of all.
Yeah.
Because that person you're going to arrest, talk to, write a citation, their rights come before anything.
Yeah.
It boils down to your Bill of Rights.
This way the people, when they do go, you say they say, okay, you stopped me, you said I was doing 50, I was only doing 30. Okay. First of all, and that's why I tell everybody, dash cam.
Right.
Dash cam won't lie.
That's right.
And it's and cops do make mistakes.
Oh yeah.
If if I'm sitting here, a blue car goes by, I run up, get in my car because he's doing 90.
Right.
And I run down the road and I find a blue car, I arrest him because he's 90 miles. I got the wrong guy. That's when dash cam comes in.
Right. Yeah.
I go to court, I take my dash cam video, show the judge, look, you don't have dash cam, you ain't got a leg to stand on.
Well, to start with, when you're trying to catch him, if you're losing him or her, whoever the driver may be, if you don't have distinction about that vehicle so you can identify it, such as a tag number,
Yeah.
you don't have anything. Let them go. There'll be other times, and pray that they don't have a wreck and hurt somebody down the road.
Yeah. 'Cause that's what'll end up happening.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, that was another thing there. But like I said, the way the cops now are so scared, they shoot first minute inspection. And then they call it what they call gypsy cops
Oh yeah.
that screw up in this department. So before once the investigation starts, they resign,
Uh-huh.
and they'll go over here
Right.
and
Yeah.
they'll start again.
Yeah.
That should be stopped.
Exactly. I agree with you.
Gypsy cops should be stopped. They should not be allowed to be policing. If they're bad here, let's just say, what are they going to do over here? Even worse.
Going to do the same thing. But on the other hand, cops don't really make enough money to put their life on the line day after day after day. Let me give you an example. I got a domestic call, which is one of the worst calls you can go on, really.
Yeah.
So I went in, lived in a mobile home. They weren't married, but I didn't know that. I had a call to domestic. So when I went in, stepped through the door, here stood a lady. She had a knife in her hand and a baby in this other hand. Had her living lover, backed up against the wall. She was going to kill him. What was I going to do? You got to think fast, Ron. What is going to happen? Somehow, and I'm honest, I really don't know yet how I did it. But the only time I ever remember slapping the woman, I slapped her, took the baby, got the knife away from her, and got her husband, Olivia, or whatever, separated, and she was on the couch. And today, I still wonder how I did all that at the same time. But it was training. Training. You've got to have that training. And I was never trained in a situation like that, but you learn as you go. Training is the thing. If you don't have training, I've seen cops run, and I won't call their name, but when they were police officers, well, so-called police officers, the only people they would put over would be women, ladies, or teenagers.
I know who you're talking about.
They don't have any business being out there. I mean, as a cop, that's just
the same one that was run off the Leary bike.
yeah.
Well, I know. That and the other one that had a good little ego is Haney. Haney.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of different ones.
Yeah. But, and again, but I wanted to get a real cop's point of view on what the difference between policing in the day and policing today, how the difference, and it all boils down, like you say, training.
Ron, when I started as a police officer, I hadn't been out of the Army long. The only thing we had as equipment was our weapon. And if we could afford it, a flashlight. Now, this honest God truth, of course, this is many years ago. When I first got into law enforcement, the police department or the city didn't even furnish your car. You used your own vehicle. I remember my mother had I believe, a 41 Oldsmobile coupe. And I borrowed that. I got a job as a cop over in Alabama. And she let me borrow her Oldsmobile. Good little old car. Well, they had one of these big old sirens, chrome looking siren, and they furnished that to me. Well, hey, I was a cop, I had the power and I wanted to know it. So I drilled a hole in her left front fender, mounted that big old siren there. Well, I'm not going to tell you what happened when I got back home to Mama, but she was not happy. My mother was a lovely woman. She was easygoing, but boy, she had that in temper. Wow.
Drill hole in the fender. She wasn't happy at all.
She didn't take to that too much.
That's good. I tell you, that's craziness right there. That's funny.
Yep.
That camera quit for some reason. we got it on there.
But another job I had was over at a little town in Alabama, a little wide place of road really back then, and had to use my own car. Well, they finally bought what they called a police car. It was, I forget what model, about a 50-something Ford Fairlane.
Yeah.
And the garage they bought it from said, if you drive that car wide open, I'll give it to you. It's fast. Oh boy, I got it made now. Finally got in the chase. It would do 80 miles an hour. Top speed, that was it.
Yeah.
But he didn't refund them any money. I didn't buy it, the city did.
Yeah.
But it just, there's so much went on back then. It just like I remember, I stopped a man one time, DUI, I could smell it before I ever got to the car. He was driving a pickup truck, had running boards on it. So we're pulling in this gravel parking lot. He stopped, had his foot on the brake. I went up talking to him, told him I needed to see his driver's license. Well, he took off. Well, dummy me, I wasn't going to let him get away. He was drunk driving. I hopped up on the running board, hanging on to the vehicle, you know. And he kept going. But I was finally able to reach over and turn the switch off, and he had to stop. But it's a lot of times you look back, you laugh at what you might have done, and but it's all experience. You learn from every stop if you just pay attention. You can learn. You was with me a lot of times.
Oh, yeah.
You know how that was. But it's an enjoyable job. I love it. I love it. If I could still see good and get around good, I'd be a cop today, somewhere. But I also was a deputy sheriff with courtroom and working in a courtroom. Now that's the place to work. You get to hear all the cases. You get to, if you have to, you put people in jail. Sometimes you have to find them, you know. But that's all part of it. That's a give me, you know.
Yeah.
But in the court, you get to sit there and you watch the people's action, watch their face, and you get to hear all the tales that went on, what they're accused of, if you think they're guilty or innocent. Of course, that don't matter because it's up to the judge and the jury, you know.
Yeah.
But you can form an opinion and see how it was, and it's just, courtroom is really enjoyable. It really is. It's a good place to work.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. And I appreciate you coming out here and sitting down with us and having a little chat.
Well, Ron, I appreciate the opportunity. It's been a long time since I've seen you. Think the world love you. And, hey, holler at me anytime. You know where I live now.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate you.
All right, thanks.